Let's hold a quiet funeral, not for someone else. For you, the version of you that smiled when it didn't want to. The version that said, "I'm fine," when it was screaming inside. We're burying the emotional slave, the people pleaser, the overthinker, the one who gave too many chances, stayed in rooms too long, and asked for nothing but to be accepted. That version of you is dead, because it never really lived. It existed only to serve, to react, to care, to suffer in silence. Machiavelli had no room for that kind of man. He would have watched him bleed and called it mercy. Because in power, you are either calm or controlled, detached or devoured. The world doesn't hand out peace. It takes your peace and sells it back to you at the price of your dignity. But you are here to become something colder, cleaner, sharper. You are not here to be liked. You are here to walk away without looking back, to burn bridges with a steady hand, to smile when they beg for closure and disappear. A quiet revolution, a psychological weapon, a death sentence for the old you, and the coronation of the one they'll never control again. Caring is currency, and like any currency, when you give too much of it away for free, you go broke. Most people don't realize this. They walk through life handing out their attention, their emotions, their loyalty, to people who haven't earned a single ounce of it. And then they wonder why they're exhausted, why they're used, why no one respects them. Here's why. You cared too fast. And in Machiavellian terms, that makes you vulnerable. Because the moment you invest in someone emotionally, they own part of your power. It's simple psychology. We protect what we invest in, even if it doesn't serve us, even if it hurts us. That's why people stay in toxic relationships. That's why they defend manipulators. That's why they can't walk away. Because they've already given too much. And once you care too much, you stop seeing clearly. You justify disrespect. You tolerate incompetence. You excuse betrayal. You become emotionally biased and strategically blind. Machiavelli warned, men are driven by two things, gain and fear. But the moment they sense you're emotionally invested, they lose both. Why? Because now they don't have to fear losing you. You've already given yourself. You've made yourself cheap. This is how the strong get used by the weak. The powerful get manipulated by the fragile. The intelligent get trapped by the emotional. Because you cared before calculating. The Machiavellian mind never gives value before measuring cost. It observes, it tests, it waits. It never invests based on how someone makes them feel. It invests based on how someone moves. You want to become powerful? Stop letting your emotions sign contracts your logic hasn't read. Detach before you invest. Wait before you feel. Measure before you give. Because every time you care too early, you become owned. And ownership kills leverage. The moment they know you care, they stop fearing your absence. They start taking you for granted. They start controlling the frame. And that's when you lose. So ask yourself, who are you giving access to? Who are you defending without return? Who are you loyal to that wouldn't even notice your silence? Cut the flow of energy. Stop the emotional spending. Audit every connection. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be respected. And no one respects someone they can move with emotion. Caring is not a strength. It's a risk. And the world belongs to those who control when and if they take that risk. Powerful people don't fight with words. They fight with absence, with detachment, with silence. You think you have to respond. You think you have to explain. You think saying the right thing will fix it. It won't. Because once someone believes they can provoke you into a reaction, they control you. Verbal reactions are noise. They show weakness. They show that you care. They show that you're moved, angry, offended, disturbed. That's not power. That's exposure. And Machiavelli understood something most people today forget. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. Silence is interruption. It cuts deeper than insults ever could. The moment you stop responding emotionally, you remove the fuel from their fire. They insult you. You don't flinch. They expect anger. You give nothing. They try to push you, provoke you, drag you down. But you're already gone. Emotionally, mentally, strategically. Now they panic. Because silence forces them to face themselves. And most people cannot survive in that space. You don't win by arguing. You win by removing the reward. The reward is your attention. The reward is your reaction. Take it away, and they starve. Here's the power move. When someone disrespects you, don't explain. Don't defend. Don't retaliate. Withdraw. Completely. Because verbal aggression feels powerful in the moment. But it's short-term. It's loud, emotional, unstable. And it puts you on the same level as the fool you're responding to. But silence? Silence makes them guess. It makes them reflect. It makes them paranoid. They wonder if you're planning something. If you're gone forever. If you've already replaced them. If you've already forgotten them. You become a ghost that haunts their mind. And the longer you remain silent, the more their imagination does the damage for you. Machiavellian strategy isn't about noise. It's about leverage. And silence is leverage. Especially when it's earned. Especially when it follows betrayal, disrespect, or disloyalty. Because when you go quiet without warning, it signals strength. It signals control. It signals, I don't need this. I don't need you. And I'm already moving without you. That's what terrifies people. Not your words, your indifference. Because words can be debated. Silence cannot. Words can be explained. Silence leaves them guessing. Words seek resolution. Silence declares war. You don't always have to attack. Sometimes the most brutal response is nothing at all. Because power is not proven through confrontation. It's proven through absence. When people feel your silence as a threat, you've already won. You want to cut someone deep? Do it without emotion, without volume, without warning. Disengage, disappear, detach, no message, no speech, just absence. The one who leaves calmly, silently, and completely becomes a myth. And a myth is more dangerous than any man with a mouth. So remember this. Don't argue, don't over-explain, don't react, cut emotionally, disappear strategically. Remain a question. Because when they don't know what you're thinking, they fear what you might do. And that fear is power. Every time you explain yourself, you lose ground. You expose how you think. You expose your logic. You expose your insecurity. And in the game of power, exposure is death. You think explanations make you look rational, reasonable, balanced. But to the predator, you just revealed your blueprint. They now know what triggers you, what justifies you, what pressures you. And once they understand your wiring, they know exactly how to short-circuit you. Machiavelli didn't speak just to be understood. He spoke only when the outcome required words. Otherwise, he left people guessing. Because mystery is leverage. Look at the people who command the most respect. They don't talk too much. They don't explain everything. They speak in short, deliberate strikes. That's not personality. That's design. They've learned that the more they explain, the more they invite judgment. The more they talk, the more ammunition they hand out. You defend your actions, you sound guilty. You justify your choices, you sound unsure. You seek understanding, you sound weak. Power is not in convincing others. It's in making them accept that you move whether they understand you or not. Your job is not to be understood. Your job is to be effective. And effective people know this rule. The less they know about you, the harder you are to attack. When you're unreadable, you're dangerous. Because they can't predict your next move. They can't anticipate your reaction. They can't tell if you're emotional, strategic, or already gone. You become a shadow, a mystery, a threat. Every time someone tries to corner you into explaining, remember this. They're not asking to understand. They're asking to gain control. Because once they know what drives you, they'll use it. They'll mimic empathy. They'll mirror your values. They'll manipulate you through your own words. You think you're building trust, but you're giving them the lock and the key. Machiavellian power isn't about transparency. It's about opacity. You reveal what helps you. You conceal what protects you. You don't owe the world access to your motives. You don't owe anyone the inside of your head. Let them misunderstand you. Let them speculate. Let them project. Because while they're busy trying to figure you out, you're already 3 steps ahead. The unreadable man doesn't react. He doesn't explain. He doesn't clarify. He simply moves. Silently, decisively, coldly. And those who cross him never see the blade until they're already bleeding. Here's your new law. Every unnecessary word is a potential weakness. Every explanation is a thread someone can pull. So stop offering clarity to those who haven't earned it. Stop seeking permission through explanation. Stop being so damn obvious. Your silence is power. Your vagueness is protection. Your unpredictability is fear. Make them guess. Make them uncomfortable. Make them question if they ever really knew you at all. Because a man who doesn't explain is a man they can never disarm. Closure is a lie. A fairy tale we tell ourselves to feel safe. We crave it because we want neat endings, explanations, and reasons. But in the world of power, closure is a trap. Machiavelli understood this better than most. The strongest move is not to explain, not to reconcile, but to walk away, cold, silent, and final, without looking back, without giving them the satisfaction of answers. Because when you seek closure, you keep a door open. You linger in their world, waiting for a sign, a call, a text, a word that will never come. You try to make sense of what's already dead. You negotiate with ghosts. You bleed hope into something that's already poisoned. And every step back into that mess is a step away from your own power. The truly powerful don't waste energy trying to heal wounds that others inflicted. They don't argue for respect. They don't plead for understanding. They don't ask for fairness. They burn the bridge. Burning the bridge means erasing any possibility of return. No calls, no explanations, no second chances. It means cutting all ties so completely that you become a ghost in their story. An absence they can't control, can't bargain with, can't exploit. Because the moment you leave a door open, you give them leverage. They can call you, message you, bait you back into their game. They can manipulate your hopes, your guilt, your desire to be fair. And the moment you engage, you lose. Power lies not in fighting the battle you can't win, but in choosing not to fight at all. Walking away without closure is the ultimate weapon. It's the final refusal to be anyone's emotional hostage. It's the declaration that you own your time, your energy, and your peace. And you will not sacrifice it to people who don't deserve it. You might call it cold. You might call it cruel. But it's not cruelty. It's clarity. Because the world is filled with emotional vampires, manipulators, and leeches who want to keep you tied down with questions and drama. They want to drain you with confusion and guilt. They want you to stay available so they can exploit your weakness. But when you burn the bridge, you remove yourself from their reach entirely. No explanations to justify your absence. No apologies to soothe their ego. No messages to reopen old wounds. Just silence. Cold, permanent silence. And silence is a message more powerful than any words. It says, I am done with you. I am not yours to control. I will not be dragged back into your chaos. This message terrifies people because closure is safety. It's comfort. It's a balm that dulls pain. But it's also a leash. And when you refuse to be leashed, you become untouchable. Consider this. How many times have you stayed in a toxic situation because you wanted answers? How many times have you asked for reasons that only prolonged your suffering? How many times have you explained yourself so much that you lost the respect of the one you were explaining to? Every time you give a reason, you give an opening. Every time you seek closure, you extend your vulnerability. Machiavelli teaches us to value freedom over comfort. The freedom to move on without baggage. The freedom to cut losses without regret. The freedom to burn what no longer serves you, completely and without hesitation. Walking away without closure is the practice of self-respect. It is the refusal to be anyone's emotional afterthought. It is the discipline to put your peace above their demands. And make no mistake, it is difficult. It means resisting the urge to explain yourself one last time. It means silencing the part of you that wants to be understood. It means facing loneliness without apology. But the reward is immense. You reclaim your power. You control your narrative. You become the master of your own fate. And in this ruthless world, that is all that matters. So next time you face a relationship, a friendship, or a situation draining your energy, ask yourself, am I staying because I want closure, or because I fear losing control? Am I seeking answers, or begging for permission to leave? Am I holding on to hope, or sacrificing my peace? Then make the hardest, most powerful decision of all. Burn the bridge, walk away, and never look back. Because the most dangerous move in the game of power is not confrontation. It's the cold, silent exit. The exit that leaves them guessing, haunted, powerless. The exit that tells the world, I own myself, and I'm gone. The final evolution in the brutal art of not giving a damn is to become untouchable. To embody indifference so complete, so absolute, that the world learns to fear your presence and your absence. Indifference is not apathy. It's not weakness or numbness. It is a weapon forged from discipline, self-control, and clarity. It is the armor that shields you from manipulation, the fortress that keeps your power intact, and the blade that cuts through emotional chaos. The indifferent man moves through life like a ghost, unseen, unread, unpredictable. He owes no explanations, no justifications, no apologies. He answers only to himself. He fears no judgment. He reacts to no provocation. Why? Because he has mastered what most never dare. Detachment from outcome. The world will always try to pull you in, to make you care, to make you respond, to make you fight battles that aren't yours. But when you are indifferent, you stop caring about approval. You stop chasing validation. You stop reacting to insults and praise alike. You become the eye in the storm, calm, focused, impenetrable. Machiavelli taught rulers to be both lion and fox, fierce yet cunning. Indifference is the modern equivalent. It is the silence that terrifies your enemies. It is the patience that lets you strike when the moment is perfect. It is the power to walk away whenever you choose, and the confidence that they can't stop you. But becoming indifferent is not easy. It requires brutal honesty with yourself, a ruthless shedding of old beliefs that you need approval, love, or sympathy to survive. You must train your mind like a weapon. Condition your emotions to serve you, not enslave you. Reject the noise of society's expectations, because the world respects only one thing: unshakable control over yourself. Once you reach this level, you become untouchable. You move with a dangerous grace. You speak only when it benefits you. You act only when it advances your position. Others see you as cold. They call you distant, hard, unfeeling. Good, because warmth is a liability, and softness is an invitation. The indifferent man protects his power by being unavailable, not just physically, but emotionally. He gives no clues. He shows no weakness. He reveals nothing. And in that absence of vulnerability lies your greatest strength. The brutal art of not giving a damn is not about being reckless or careless. It's about being strategic, disciplined, and ruthless with what you allow to affect you. It is the refusal to be anyone's emotional puppet, the refusal to be dragged into chaos, the refusal to give away your peace. You are the master of your inner world, the gatekeeper of your energy, the architect of your destiny. When you become untouchable, you don't just survive, you dominate. So commit to this path. Practice indifference like a skill. Cultivate detachment like a crown. Because in a world full of people desperate to be seen, heard, and liked, the one who gives no damn stands alone at the top. And that alone is power. You've heard the truth, the cold, unfiltered reality that most refuse to face. Caring too much makes you weak. Silence is your sharpest weapon. Explanations are chains you must break. Burn the bridges that keep you trapped. And above all, master indifference, the fortress of the untouchable. This is not a path for the faint-hearted. It demands ruthless self-discipline, brutal honesty, the courage to walk alone when others beg for comfort. But make no mistake, those who embrace this mindset become unstoppable. Because power isn't given, it's taken. Taken by the ones who don't flinch, don't explain, and never give anyone the keys to their soul. You have two choices now. Remain a pawn, easily moved by the emotional tides of others,